Hi, I'm Haley Patrick.
I'm Andre York.
I'm Joe Consolo.
I'm Justin Fisher, and on behalf of group number 34, we welcome you to our Parkscape story. Here we'll present you with an ever-unfolding narrative, one that is unique to our park of choice, Bryce Canyon. Along the way, we'll connect our park's own issues of sustainability and conservation to those experienced on a broader global scale. And with that, let's dive in with Haley.
Thanks, Justin. Bryce Canyon is a beautiful national park full of vistas and valleys located in south central Utah with headquarters in Bryce, Utah, United States. The park is on the edge of the Pond-Sogan Plateau. J.W. Humphrey was most responsible for making Bryce Canyon into official national park. He was an employee for the U.S. Forest Service, and when he visited Bryce Canyon, he was blown away by the natural beauty. He sent pictures to officials of the Union Pacific Railroad, which pushed them to buy some of the land of Bryce Canyon and begin building a lodge to attract tourists. Bryce Canyon became a national park on February 25, 1928. One of the central aspects of Bryce Canyon National Park are the hoodoos, which are rock formations that are uplifted and weathered, according to the National Park Service. The formations tend to be made of softer rock, so they are less easily eroded but not very common. Bryce Canyon also has an assorted number of biomes, contrary to many parks. The biomes included are alpine, grasslands, and even desert. Because of this diverse land, Bryce Canyon is home to a number of animals that are unique to the area and rely on the conserved land. Some of the native animals include a number of migratory hummingbirds, pronghorn antelope, Utah prairie dogs, and tiger salamanders. These unique aspects make conservation even more important for Bryce Canyon. But Bryce Canyon faces formidable threats, ranging from a local to a global level. Now Andre will introduce what we believe to be the chief threat of sustainability at Bryce. Andre?
Thanks, Haley. The core issue that currently poses a large threat to Bryce Canyon is the coal mining industry around the park and the possibility to expand the operation. Under the current administration, it was decided to greatly expand the mining operations only 10 miles away from the canyon, and if this expansion carries through, it will carry with it a variety of problems for the park, its tourism sector, and its indigenous wildlife. The first key stressor would be the massive amounts of pollution that the expanding operation will create, ranging from water and air pollution that will negatively affect the health of the local ecosystems, to the noise pollution that will disturb animals near the area, to light pollution that will detract from the starry night skies that Bryce Canyon is very famous for, thus threatening tourism for the park. This wide variety of pollution also entails harm to the soils in the area, health of the local flora, and even the air's visibility. Additionally, the mine would be expanded to an open-pit strip mine, which is very damaging to the land integrity surrounding it. This drop in land integrity would cause significant damage to Bryce Canyon's aforementioned hoodoos. These hoodoos are so fragile, in fact, that it's said that even standing at the base of one will diminish its lifespan by weakening its clay foundation. These threats will cause tourism to drop in the area in and around the park, which will have major economic ramifications for the communities which depend on visitors to the park to survive.
Just as pollution from the mines has negative health effects on local wildlife, it also has negative effects on the people in the area. Beyond that, one of the biggest problems that expanding mining operations poses on the social spectrum is its threat to tourism. Bryce Canyon's tourism sector contributes around $256 million to local economies. As previously mentioned, forms of pollution such as light and air pollution undercut the natural splendor of Bryce Canyon. This threatens the tourism industry of not only the national park itself, but also of the surrounding towns whose local economies are very dependent on the tourists that Bryce Canyon attracts. This, along with the environmental problems, has prompted various groups to oppose the decision to expand the mining operation, including environmental groups, local residents, and Native Americans. In very recent developments, the U.S. Department of Interior is actually being sued for allowing the operation's expansion to carry through, on the grounds that their pro-mining decision was ill-informed, as they did not properly analyze the ecological effects that the mine would bring. Groups like the Sierra Club, the Natural Resources Defense Council, the National Parks Conservation Association, and more are alleging that interior officials did not follow the National Environmental Policy Act when they made the approval, a requirement in scenarios such as this. By now, the multifaceted threats coal mining poses to Bryce Canyon should be very apparent, but what about the solutions? Isn't Bryce Canyon worth conserving? Let's have Justin finish off this story.
Thanks, Joe. As environmentally competent citizens, our ideal goal would be to eliminate coal mining and non-renewable energy sources in their entirety. Yet, as pragmatic and reasonable problem solvers, we require pragmatic, reasonable solutions to the case at hand. The very least we can do is work to mitigate any further damages caused by coal mining, especially surrounding Bryce Canyon. The best we can do in this case is to stifle any further expansion and development of coal mining in and around Bryce Canyon.
It is true that in February, the Bureau of Land Management, guided by the administration, approved the leasing of 3,600 acres of land surrounding Bryce Canyon for mining. Winning the lease was Alton Coal, awarding them the rights to mine as close as 10 miles from Bryce. As shocking and devastating as this might be to us and to Bryce Canyon, it's nothing that can't be reversed. When considering the most plausible solution available to us, the pending lawsuit against the Interior Department might just be the ticket we need to stifle any further expansion of mining in and around our vulnerable park. The particular lawsuit at hand involves multiple plaintiffs who claim that by granting Alton the right to mine, they violated and circumvented the National Environmental Policy Act altogether. They have a point. There's no public evidence whatsoever that this permit approval was given any due environmental justice. If anything is clear, a new mining operation requires extensive time and energy to launch into action, maybe 2 to 3 years. Considering Alton Coal just received their mining contract, it's likely that a delay in mining development, stewarded by lawsuits such as this, will be suitable to further mitigate the mining process, at least until an impending administration change. But on a grander forward-thinking scale, it is critical that our generation attack the overarching issue of non-renewable energy by encouraging and implementing renewable energy solutions. Through our actions personally, communally, and nationally, we can guide our country toward a completely green energy economy, one that leads the world by example.
Regardless of the particular path pursued, we are confident in a successful and sustainable future for Bryce Canyon. In speaking to Bryce Canyon Superintendent Linda Mazu, she reminded us to never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world. Thank you.